Hi, welcome to a new episode of Trish Crochet. We are making a forest theme book cover today. This is really easy to make and the pattern is really easy to follow. If you are a book lover, this is a must in your crochet wardrobe and it's really easy, beginner friendly pattern. Let's begin, shall we? We start off with base colors, for which I'm taking green and white, and followed by the most important part, which is a crochet hook. For this, like, it totally depends on you, depending on your work, what kind of crochet hook you want to use. I'm using a 5.0 millimeter hook. And last but not the least, for the decor part, I'm using these small bits of yarn that I have. And obviously you're gonna need a pair of scissors to secure your work, very important. And stitch marker is completely optional, it's not really important, but if you want you can use. And obviously if you want to secure the bits in the end of your work, darning needle. So this is all that we need. I am using this book, so this book is itself very pretty and it doesn't need a cover to justify itself. So I am gonna be working my book cover project on top of this book. So starting off with taking the width of the book, which is starts from all the way from the top to the bottom. So I am gonna be taking my yarn, which is obviously this is the base color to match the book, and I am gonna be making single crochets till I reach the length of my book. Now make sure you don't have to make too tight or way too loose, because we also gonna be making a border work on the end of our work. So let's begin. I'm gonna start with making chains, and then on top of that single crochet. So to begin, we are gonna make obviously a slip knot, and there's a tutorial on how to make a slip knot. You can follow that. So we'll make single crochet till we reach towards the width of our book. So let's make our single crochet. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. Let's see if that is 24 is not enough. I feel like 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. Let's see if 30 is enough. Okay, feels like 30 is sufficient, but I think we need 2 more chains because I see that gap. So you can also take your book and go towards the spine of your book and check it like that. And I see we need 2 more chains. So I'm gonna do, sorry, my bad. Go ahead and do 2 more. That should be sufficient because we are also working on the border. So border is gonna eventually increase. Okay, so what we are gonna do is we are gonna, after we have taken this length, we are gonna work single crochets, rows of single crochet all the way, starting from till here. And sorry, I'm so sorry. Yeah, starting from till here, wherever you want your to secure your book leaf into, to the end, the back side of your book, towards the secure of your back leaf of your book. So yeah, it is a little complicated, but if you don't want to secure your leaf, I would suggest do that, and start from here to the, so what I'm saying is the length should start from here to followed by to here. So it depends on what you want to keep the secure width of. So depending, you can keep this much, you can also go a little beyond. So totally depends. Yeah. So we have like successfully finished our first row over here. So now I wanted to show you all how to go into that second work. So generally, to maintain that straight edge, I would like to do is I don't make chain one. Instead, I just flip my work and I hop right into that, straight into that first single crochet that we worked on for the last row, and I work my single crochet on top of that for the next row. As easy as that. So make sure you don't miss any single crochet. So I've made a total of 32, so it should be 32 at the end of your work. So the last stitch can really be tricky, so make sure you don't lose that. So keep making your 32 single crochet all the way your first front part of the book until you reach the rib, or we shall say the spine of the book. Keep making your single crochet. So I think this is pretty easy. I will see you until I have reached the length of my front cover of the book. Sorry about that. So far, this is the achievement that we have made. So the part where we are going to secure our book, obviously, till the, okay, wait, let me check if I am on the front part of the book. Okay, yeah. So what we are going to be doing is, since we are done with till here, like I said, till we reach towards the center part, which is skeleton, or let's say the spine part of the book, I'm going to show you what to do. So we are done with all our rows of single crochet till the length of from here to all the way till here. So now I'm going to change the color to white, and I'm going to show you what we are doing. So make sure you don't work from here to here. If you really want to secure your book underneath the flap of the work, then you start from here or somewhere, wherever how much ever your desired length is. So we'll start with taking the white yarn, and how I am gonna swap the color is I'm gonna just take the white yarn, I'm gonna take the white yarn before finishing off my last single crochet, obviously, like that, and then pull the green yarn tight, and then I'm gonna flip my work. And what I'm gonna do is, what we are doing here is, so we are working all the way from here, so obviously make sure that you work only back loop. Let me just focus. We are working only on the back loop. So this is the V shape. So here, in order to create that fine line, the fine part where it's blooping out, we are going to work only back loop of our stitches, like that. So keep working your way on the back loop, and then I will see you as to what we are gonna do next. So only this row is back loop, and following after this row, all the rows are gonna be only single crochet. Okay, and then before starting off with the back side from here of the book, I'm gonna show you the last row of our spine of the book is also gonna be working on the back loop. So this is a very simple process. Any beginner can easily do. You just flip my work and work that way. So we are working as of now only on the back loop of our last green rows, not going inside the entire stitch like that, but rather we are working only on the back loop like that. After we are done making the rows of back loop crochet, now we are going to simply flip our work like we were doing before and just go inside the entire stitch and just make rows of single crochet until we reach towards the length of, let's say, just here in the last finishing row before we start off from the back side of the book is gonna be again back loop crochet. So is that so I hope I do not need to show that. So it is really up to the length, the width of your book. So yeah, I'll be just making rows of single crochet and then I will work my back loop row again. Just make single crochets all the way. Okay, so now that we are done with the green part of the book leaf, the front part, and obviously the spine part, now we are gonna work on the back loop like I said before. So we are gonna swap the color to green. So I literally ran out of yarn and I had to go to yarn store today in the morning. So it's a lot that happened in a very short amount of time. So I'm just gonna take out my stitch marker and insert my hook inside, and then obviously swap in the green color, yeah, and start working on our back loops to make single crochets like that. If you want, you can tighten the existing white yarn, the white yarn that we were working on, but remember this round we are only working on the back loops again. I honestly like this color a lot. I was also thinking of making cardigan with this color, but let's see. a lot on my plate. Currently haven't been able to make very big projects. So we are done with the back loop single crochet row. This is to ensure that you have a proper foundation to your spine. So you can literally see that it's standing all the way. It has like a good grip because we worked on the back loop of this and then following with the back loop of this, which is eventually gonna flatter the back work like this, and this is gonna stand. So yeah, that's the trick. And as usual, we are not chaining one, we're just flipping our work and making single crochet from the very start. Single crochet that we ended with, sorry, back loop single crochet that we ended with on our last row. So this is as similar to the first part, this part that we did. It's all single crochet until you reach your desired length, obviously, which is this much. So if I take my measuring tape, really depends on my book, so it's about 6 inches. So this is the result of finishing the other green part of my book cover, and this is how it looks. Likewise, I said we will be covering the border part of this project as well, so I have started from keeping enough space to insert my book leaf into, and starting with obviously the skeleton part of the book. Honestly, this doesn't look aligned as of now because we don't have everything in order, but as soon as the project is finished, things will seem to be more aligned and in order. This is how it looks. So let's work on the border of the project. So I'm using a little smaller hook for this border part, which is I don't know if I can zoom in. I don't know why it's not zooming in. Which is a 3.25 which is a 3.25 millimeter hook. So initially we were using a 4.0 millimeter hook. So I will chop off this green yarn and I will insert my hook into this bit and start working on my border part of the work. So I'm just gonna go ahead and take off that stitch marker from in here, and I am going to chop off this green yarn because I don't need it anymore, and I am going to insert my hook and I'm gonna work on the border. So just gonna secure the green yarn, and we are precisely making 3 single crochets for the corner. So in order to give a perfect edge to our corners, so I'm making 3 single crochet. Honestly, my space is so hideous and so scurry funged. Yeah, so exactly 3 single crochets. I'm just gonna go ahead and secure my brown yarn first. See, and then we're gonna start working from the edge, 3 single crochet for the corners, simple as that, followed by a single crochet in every stitch. So this row is all about making single crochet, nothing more than that. So we're gonna work all the way from here to come all the way here and then up and then reach here. So it's like a lot of work. Yeah, let's just work all our way and make those rounds of single crochets. and I'm like really not sure if it's focusing. Honestly, I was thinking of making a white border, but I wanted to give more refining to my project. I wanted to make it look more forestry theme. That's the very reason I went for this brown border, which I think would do much more justice than my white border. So it's now legit giving that forest theme, the ethereal theme to my book cover. So I am just gonna finish this round of single crochet and come back and show you what are we doing next. So I'm done with the border part of my book cover, and I really like how finished it's looking. Although this is not our last row, so I have to say sadly that this is not where our journey ends. I'm just gonna go ahead and into that first stitch that we had made on the beginning of our this brown border row. I'm just gonna go ahead and insert my crochet hook. I'm gonna make a slip stitch inside that, just to join our stitches like that. There you go, all finished. So now for our second round, what we are going to be doing is that we are going to chain 5, exactly 5 chains. So this round is all about giving a more aesthetic look to this book cover. So we are making a pop stitch, or you can say a popcorn stitch round. So making chain 5 and then going into that same stitch and slip stitching. As simple as that. So we are going to repeat that 2 more times. Total of 3, 5. Same stitch again and chain 5. Sorry. Slip stitch into that same stitch. That I'm gonna make one more, which is the last one. Just like that. This is how it should look. It should give that very flowery effect. So now moving forward, I'm not planning to keep a total gap of 4 stitches or 3 stitches. So I'm gonna go ahead and keep a gap of total of 3 stitches. So if you want, you can do a single crochet, or you can also just slip stitch, simply slip stitch. So I'm gonna do single crochet on my next 2 stitches like that, just like that. You can just go ahead and make a slip stitch, totally up to you. I'm just gonna go ahead and like explore a little bit that what I wanna do. If a slip stitch is looking better, then we can just go ahead and consider making a slip stitch. I'm gonna make, sorry. So it totally depends on the gap you want to keep. The gap depends on how close you want your flowers to be, or how apart you want your flowers to be. So I'm making a total of 4 slip stitches, and then I'm gonna go ahead and make my flower again. So there we go, 4 slip stitch, and on the next stitch we are making flowers again. So I'm gonna start with obviously chaining 5, 2, 3, 4 and 5, followed by into that same stitch slip stitch again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, same stitch, a slip stitch, followed by again 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, again same stitch, do the slip stitch. So sorry. Yeah, just like that. I'm gonna go ahead and make my 4 single crochets again. Sorry, 4 slip stitches. The next 4 stitch, followed by into our 5th stitch, we're gonna be making our pop stitches, 3 pop stitches. These are 4, 3, and 4. 2 5 stitches. Let's make the pop stitch again. 1, 3, 4, 5. So just keep making these pop stitches all over till you reach all the way till here. So if you want, you can skip this part of the skeleton of the book, but you can also do here. So totally up to you. I really like how it looks. It's very cute. I'm just gonna slip stitch my way in all the way till that till the first flower that we had initially worked on. That's it. I've made my last slip stitch, and I'm just gonna take out my yarn from there and I'm gonna chop it off. If you want, you can just sew these ends, these loose ends like that. I'm done. I'm just gonna take in that yarn all the way inside there. Anyways, so this is done. I really like it. Now how are we gonna decorate the outer part? That is the question. So I'm making some flowers and I'm gonna attach them, or if you want you can sew them. So I'm gonna make some flowers. I've chosen this beautiful orange color, and I'm in fact wearing an orange cardigan myself, and I'm gonna use this as well. So it's like white and orange flowers, a little bits of flowers everywhere. See how this turned out. I mean, I was honestly not really sure that how this is gonna turn out. So this is how I'm gonna sew all the ends. And if you want, you can always take a lighter and burn to give it a proper finishing or to secure the yarn. So there are my yarn ends, which I just don't want to chop it off, because if I chop it off, there's a risk of the thread coming out. So better to burn it and secure it. So this is how it looks after stitching the ends, in which you're gonna secure your book cover into. So I am going to flip it like this inside, so you can see. I'm just gonna show it to you how it's done, and it's a little tighter, not really tight, it's like this. It looks really pretty, and on the other end as well, like that. Now that we are finally done with our entire book cover, I am going to sew my decorations bit by bit. So before I sew it off, I am gonna share with you what I have made. So I've made a leaf and I have made a cute roses to go on top of it. This is the complete look. I'm gonna insert my book cover. I'm like so excited. And why wouldn't I be? It took me quite a long time to finish this project, and I'm like really happy how it looks. I have no regrets. Ta-da! This is how it looks. I'm like very happy how it looks, and the complete results are quite ethereal. and I love the finishing edges. So this book cover itself might not be a complete perfection, but it's a reminder that nothing is perfect in life, and yet the most simplicity and imperfection makes it look perfect. So I'm really happy how this turned out, and the total project was really easy to make. In case you want to know how I made the decorations, let me know in the comment box. I'll drop a tutorial for it. It's really easy. In case you haven't liked, comment, and subscribe, please do so. Thank you for being a part of Trish Crochet family.